Welcome to the dry and windy season in southern Arizona. We are taking this opportunity to double our freshwater collection capabilities. Right now, as you know, we have a 1,250 gallon freshwater tank, but we are getting another 1,200 gallon tank, and we will effectively double the amount of water that we can hold. Let me show you how everything works right now. You might be aware of some of it, but for completeness, let's go through it all. So with this new patio that we have installed, all the rainwater that comes off the patio falls into this gutter system. From the gutter system, it comes down this PVC pipe underground and into our freshwater tank. That works by the force of gravity because it's higher here than it is in our tank. Even though the water is going underground and then back up, we still get water into our freshwater tank. That's the magic of gravity. It works. We've seen it work. It's a beautiful process. But that does mean we will have some water stuck in our pipes underground. The idea there is for all the rocks and sediment and dirt and stuff, especially after the first rain from the roof, all that sediment will hopefully settle underground, and then the fresher water will actually make its way up and into our freshwater tank. There's a main entrance point from the water into this PVC system, and there's like a metal grate up there, and there's also one here in this little area that we can unscrew, and then if there's any like leaves or any particles stuck in here that would prevent the water from coming down, all we have to do is take this little cap off and clean it out. So it's actually very easy to keep this whole system nice and clean. We also have a clean out valve, so the PVC runs straight here like this and then into our water tank behind me. This is a little clean out valve that we could unscrew, let all that water that's collected filter out and just into the desert when we want to clean out the pipes inside. We probably won't do this very often, but it's nice to be able to do that when we need to.
Especially after the first storm after dry season.
Especially after the first storm, yes. And right now, as you can see, this is the dry season. So we're taking some opportunity to do some PVC work. So right now we have a 1,250 gallon tank and a 200 gallon freshwater rain collection tank. But what happens if those two get filled? Well, we're out of luck until today. Something very important, very exciting is coming at the end of the day today. Another tank just like this one. It's not the exact same brand, but it holds the same amount of water. We're gonna put that back in the desert a little ways, and we're gonna equalize those tanks through an underground PVC system through gravity equalization. That's coming today. We are getting prepared for that. We've already run some PVC underground, so we are ready. All we need is the tank. But let me show you one other improvement, major improvement, that's gonna make rainwater collection for us that much easier. This new system that we're installing kills two birds with one stone. One, it helps us filter the water, or make sure that the water we get into our freshwater tank, make sure that water's cleaner, and it also just is convenient so we don't have to pump out quite as much water. So as you know, our previous system went from our gutters that we put up straight into our rain catchment tank. That's it. We used a water transfer pump, pumped all that water from this tank into our freshwater tank. We left the sediment at the bottom because that's where the sediment collects. It falls to the bottom, the fresher water up at the top. So we just pumped out the water above all the sediment into this tank. But with this new system, let me show you a couple of ball valves that's gonna really increase our flexibility here. So now when the water comes down, we can either have it come straight into our rain catchment tank, which we probably will after the first 5 or 10 minutes of a rainstorm, because the roof is completely filthy at that point with lots of dust and dirt and things like that. So we want the initial water to come into this tank. Then after 5 or 10 minutes, we can just shut off this ball valve, open that ball valve, and that water will come through this brand new PVC system into our freshwater tank. Right now, none of this is secured, none of this is cemented, none of this is sealed, because we just wanted to make sure that we had all of our pieces ready and everything just kind of fit together. So this is all kind of loose. Our next step is to cement it and make it tight. But this is gonna increase our rainwater flexibility. I don't know, it's a rainwater game changer. Yeah, so the last big storm I was literally taking buckets back and forth because this was overflowing and I didn't want to bring the water transfer pump out and get it all wet and muddy. So I just had to do it by hand. But if we had this set up, I would just turn this ball valve on, turn this one off, and as you can see, it's not cemented yet. And boom, rainwater directly into our rain catchment tank, or our freshwater holding tank.
We're not wasting any.
And we're not wasting any. Okay, everything is cemented. I used Christie's Red, Hot, and Blue. This is what Ace told me was the best cement that they had, so I think this is gonna work really well. Now we're just waiting for two things. One, our motivation to spray paint everything so it all matches, and two, of course, the rain. But there's no rain in the foreseeable future. Part of the reason why we're doing this now. Guess what we just got? You can see it right behind us. This is our new 1,200 gallon freshwater tank that we're gonna hook up tomorrow. So all of this PVC stuff is working and interconnected, and we got 2,400 gallons of water. So we're gonna show you that tomorrow, but I wanted to show you the fact that we have the tank, it's in place, the level is perfect. Things are working out. First step in connecting our new freshwater tank to our gravity equalization system is essentially duplicate what we have on the other tank, which is this little apparatus here, which I just put together. So one end, as you can see, is going to be completely capped off. It's not, there will be no water running in that direction. But it's still nice to have a ball valve, so when I open it up, if we ever want to drain just that second tank that we just got, we can do that just by opening up this ball valve. But when we're not doing that, which I don't know why we ever would, but if we need to, we have that flexibility. But usually it's just going to be the water running through this end, which is the open end. And this is what's going to connect the water from our second tank to our first tank through that equalization system. One of the primary concerns when you're installing another water tank, we already had one here, we're installing that one, is you want the top of the tank to be as level as possible with the other, because if one is going to be below, then you're going to overflow the one that is not as high as the other one. I hope that made sense. So the idea is to have the tanks as level as possible, especially the very top of them. And we did an awfully good job. No real skill on our part. The land just happened to work out where the land right there made the tank pretty much the same height as this one here. So we don't have to worry about that. Everything is level. And let me show you how it all turned out. So if you come down here, this was our tank that we already had. The water comes out of here. We can drain it. I might put a hose fitting on this side if you want to. But as you can see, both of these are off. This goes to nothing. This goes underground to our other brand new freshwater tank. Let me show you that.
Underground, 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 underground.
And as you can see, we essentially duplicated, like I showed you before, exactly what was over there. So this is shut off, going to nothing right now, but we can drain it here if I wanted to. This is currently open. This part of the pipe is accepting water from the other tank, and it will bring it by the force of gravity into this guy. We've already tested it. As you can see, it's open. We've already tested it. Water goes all the way through and into the tank. So just by the force of gravity, both of these guys will equalize water as we get more water through rainwater collection, or if we have a water delivery, which we might have tomorrow.
And then we'll have how much water?
A combined 2,400 gallons of fresh water.
You can't see, but I'm dancing.
Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, especially since this is filmed during the shelter in place and we don't have a laundry solution at the moment.
Yeah, we're not going to a laundromat. That just doesn't seem like a good idea. So one of the things that we're going to get in the very near future is a washer-dryer combo, probably. The power we are not worried about. We have more power than we could possibly stand. It's the water that's our lowest common denominator right now. So this guy is definitely going to help.
He doubles our water supply, and at least for now I can hand wash and hang things to dry.
That's right. That's right.
We'll be a lot less stinky.
So as we go, we'll show you, we'll report back about how this is working, but that's how this is set up. I hope that made sense. And that is, I don't know, this is a great improvement. I am really happy.
Where we got the water tank and how awesome they are?
By the way, I got this brand new water tank through a guy named Phil, Drinking Water Storage Tanks. This is not sponsored in any way, but he was a super nice guy. It's just him and his wife. They supply tanks. They deliver anywhere in most places in the Four Corners region, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. So I'm gonna put his details at the bottom of the screen. So if you are interested in something like this, you could always give him a call. Again, not sponsored, just like the guy, totally easy process.
And it took us forever to find a good water tank.
He drove out with the water tank on his truck just a couple days ago. So it's, the price included delivery. Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome. We were seeing ridiculous prices for not as good tanks to get delivered out here. So
residential grade tanks versus commercial grade, and that's what we got here, which is
much better.
Probably more than we need, but it's nice to have because we expect that guy to last for decades, and we hope he does.
He has a 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty, that's right. So anyway, put his information below. If you're interested, check him out. Otherwise, well, thanks for watching anyway, and we will see you next time. Hopefully we'll be swimming in water in short order. I think it's gonna happen.
I'm excited.
I'm just looking. I'm just looking at the tank. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful